Hey guys, what's up? New shoe, new pickup video day. It is the Yeezy 350 V2 in the cream white colorway. So this is the 8th entry. I got the belugas, the 3-color stripes, the Oreos, breads, zebras, cream white. Yeah, so the 8th entry into the V2 lineup. First monochromatic colorway. It was the most widely available Yeezy I think ever made. Rumors said there were like 36k pairs on Adidas.com US, which is unheard of. That's a ton of pairs. And I think according to like a Reddit survey afterwards on our sneakers, around 60% of the people that tried to get the shoe were able to get the shoe, and only 40% of the people took L's, which is, I mean, more than half the people that wanted the shoe got it. So for Yeezys, that's an incredibly high number, I think. I mean, it's unfortunate for the 40% who didn't get it, but I think it's a step in the right direction. I think Adidas is finally ramping up production, you know, really cashing out on the Kanye hype that they've built so long. I mean, up until now, I don't think they were really making too much money off of the shoes because they were just making too limited quantities. They weren't selling enough to really recoup their investment. But now I think they're finally kind of like reeling in their cash cow, which I feel like some people don't like because it makes the shoes less limited, but I'm totally for it. I think the more people that can get their hands on the shoes, the better. So yeah, with that being said, let's talk about the shoe itself. At this point, there's probably like 1 billion reviews of the Yeezy 350 V2, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about the shoe itself. I mainly want to talk about the colorway, but for those of you that are kind of new to this shoe, Yeezys or V2s in general, I'll kind of do like a quick overview. So the upper of the shoe is full prime knit. The entire thing is just made out of this giant prime knit sock. So its older sibling, the 350 V1, also has a similar prime knit upper, but as you can see, there's really nothing there to support it. It's just like a floppy prime knit sack. The 350 V2 has an internal cage system, kind of like a fuse system inlaid inside the prime knit toe box right here, and it provides some structure and stability to the shoe, making it a lot more comfortable. On the back, you got some cushioning. You got the 3M stripes on the heel, and I think the last 3 iterations of the V2 have had these pull tabs added, which is a nice little feature, nice little homage to the V1s, which also had the pull tab. Moving on to the sole, you got this giant full-length boost midsole surrounded by this translucent rubber outsole. So yeah, it's a pretty sick shoe. I really like the silhouette. I hope they make some more colorways. So speaking of colorways, let's look a little more in depth at this colorway. So obviously this is a monochromatic shoe. It's all white, and I feel like that makes this shoe a lot more wearable than previous iterations of the V2, which had some crazy colors. It had colored stripes. The original colorway of the V2 with that crazy solar red stripe on it, the belugas, I feel like they were sick shoes by themselves. They looked really cool, but they were really difficult to incorporate into fits because of that bright orange colorway. And when I saw people wearing them, a lot of times it was really forced. Maybe like 1 out of 5 fits, I felt like, hey, they actually pulled those off. The other 4, they just kind of felt like really forced, or it didn't go with the outfit at all. Same can be said about the other striped V2s. When there's like a colored stripe on the shoe, it just becomes a lot more difficult to match with outfits. With this shoe, you don't have to worry about that because it's all one color, white. You can match it with anything, literally. Throw on some black pants, some light wash jeans, some khakis, some shorts. Literally, you can just throw it together with any sort of outfit, and it'll look semi-decent. It won't look half bad. So you got that going for you. The upper itself, actually, it retains all the characteristics of the older V2s with the stripe in it. You can actually see the stripe on the upper of this shoe. It's kind of knitted in there, as you can see, the texture difference, and even the Supply 350 lettering is knitted in there, and you really can't see it because it's tonal. They use the same color yarn for the designs as they did for the rest of the shoe. One interesting thing to note though is if you hit it with just the right kind of light, you can actually see the swirl patterns that the belugas had in this shoe. One Reddit user posted a picture of this shoe under UV light, and you can clearly see that it has all the swirl patterns that the original beluga had. I'll throw a picture up right now. So, and I think that's really cool that Adidas kept all the original features of the V2 and they just made it all white. Essentially, like, you're getting all that stuff, you're just not able to see it as clearly. So it's kind of like hidden in there. So that's that's a nice touch. Definitely dope. One thing that people were complaining about, I think, was the midsole and the outsole. They were saying that the color of the midsole did not match the color of the outsole, which is kind of true. The outsole is kind of this like more yellowish translucent rubber, and the midsole is this more whiter translucent rubber, and they're just kind of like fused together. And you can kind of see that, I guess, most obviously on the heel right there. But I think that's not really a deal breaker. I mean, these are obviously new, so they're clean, but you wear these outside like once or twice, the bottom's gonna get all dirty anyway. So even if the color was the same, it wouldn't be the same after you wore them like once or twice. So it's kind of like a moot point argument, I think. So all in all, I think this is a really great entry into the V2 lineup. I like the direction Adidas is going with this, making them widely available, making them monochromatic. I believe the next ones that are coming out are kind of this like olive greenish, kind of like Loden colorway. So those are definitely going to be a must cop for me. And hopefully that was helpful. These obviously, because they came out with so many of them, are actually reselling for not that much, around, I would say, $500 to $600, depending on what size you are, which is the lowest resale that Yeezys have ever had. So if you really want a pair, you can go out and pick one up for yourself, resell. The prices aren't that outrageous. They're not like the zebra prices or anything like that. So yeah, hopefully that was a helpful video. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you when I have the next pickup. Bye guys.